Hello everyone, welcome back to my review and breakdown of the Uncanny X-Men Disassembled story arc. This was a great issue. The first volley of the epic last battle, they have all been thrown. We find out that Enel stole the vaccine, or really why he stole the vaccine, and we get a great sense of what the X-Men stand for in this comic. There is some good payoffs in this issue, as well as just a couple of light twists. This issue makes me very excited to see how this will all be concluded. Now stay tuned for my breakdown of Uncanny X-Men number 9, X-Men Disassembled Part 9. Thank you and enjoy. X-Man, also known as Nate Gray, is dying. In his last days, he is determined to use his omnipotent mutant powers to bring about world peace and leave behind an ecological and sociological paradise. X-Man deputized Archangel, Magneto, Blob, and Omega Red with the power to change the world by force as his horsemen of salvation. To ensure a fair and balanced world, X-Man took on an advisory council comprising of Senator Ashton Allen, a human politician and advocate for the anti-mutant vaccination, Kitty Pryde, Xavier Institute headmistress and advocate for human-mutant coexistence, and Apocalypse, ancient mutant tyrant and advocate for mutant supremacy. The X-Men rallied at the X-Man's hub in British Columbia to oppose his destruction head-on, but only a group of recruit X-Men, Armor, Glob, Rockslide, and Pixie, were able to subdue him with the help of Legion, also known as David Haller. Legion psychically warped them all into the mental version of the hellish timeline known as the Age of Apocalypse. Bishop, an escapee of that timeline himself, rescued the children, but inadvertently left X-Man in control of Legion's body. Meanwhile, in the sub-basement beneath the ruins of the Xavier Institute, Beast has discovered Enel, a wounded ex-recruit who has betrayed his trust. This issue starts where the last issue left off. The X-Man is now in control of Legion now that they are back from the Age of Apocalypse. He is angry that the X-Men tried to leave him and the ex-recruits to die back in that horrible place. He grabs Jamie Madrox and starts to punch him in the face in order to force him to make copies, but it's not working. He is informed by the Jamie Madrox that he is punching that he is not the Jamie Pryde. He goes on to explain that the real Jamie Madrox left the island at the first sight of trouble and is most likely at the nearest bar. The X-Man zaps his horsemen, seemingly recharging them. They then attack the X-Men along with Storm. It seems that the X-Man has somehow instantly turned Storm into one of his horsemen. Psylocke tries to attack the X-Man, but is easily shrugged off and pushed aside. Jean Grey realizes that they may have the X-Man and his horsemen outnumbered, but the X-Man has them outpowered. She uses her psychic powers to call upon the rest of the X-Men and former members to come to their aid. Jean Grey informs Pixie that she needs her teleporting powers, but Pixie informs Jean Grey that the X-Man still has her powers shut down. Jean decides that she needs to distract him and split his focus. Armor informs Jean Grey that she has a plan. Jean is reluctant but listens to the plan and gives it the go-ahead. It seems that Armor's plan is to trap them inside her armor while Rockslide and Glob try to protect her as long as they can. Armor is able to get the Horsemen of Salvation inside of her armor ball that she's made. The X-Men attack Legion, and he loses his grip on Pixie, and she is able to teleport away. We continue on with Beast confronting Enel about stealing the vaccine. Beast is angry and demands an explanation for Enel's betrayal. Enel explains that he took the vaccine to prevent kids from becoming like him, from becoming a monster, an outcast, who is hunted and feared. Beast explains that he knows the feeling all too well, and explains that all Enel has done has given the government a weapon. At that moment, Pixie teleports in to take them to the battlefield. As the X-Men battle Legion, Apocalypse is watching. He then notices the senator trying to slip away. He decides that the senator must die and attacks him. However, Kitty Pryde appears and phases the senator away to safety. The senator doesn't understand why Kitty Pryde would save him after all he has said and done. Kitty Pryde simply explains to him, "It's what the X-Men do. They are heroes for everyone." The Horsemen defeat Rockslide and Glob and then are able to get to Armor and force her to release them from her armor bubble. They regroup with the X-Man. The ground starts to shake and the battlefield is flooded with water. The X-Men figure out that he is not just flooding the battlefield, but he is moving the tectonic plates in order to sink the continent. Kitty Pryde orders the X-Men to stop him. The X-Man has decided that since this world rejected his ways, the world is the problem. He lunges at Jean Grey. She tries to convince him that the X-Men are his family and to let the X-Men help him. The X-Man rejects this and declares that he will be the last X-Man standing. He then starts to push Jean Grey's head into the water, attempting to drown her. The X-Man then hears Beast's voice behind him. Beast informs the X-Man that if you want to beat the X-Men, you have to beat all of the X-Men. Well, it is certainly going down. There's my boy Colossus, all the other X-Men and X-Men. Yeah, that is weird to say. This is a knockdown, drag-out fight, a real slobber knocker, and it's just getting warmed up. Only one more issue, so join me next time as we conclude this story with Uncanny X-Men number 10, X-Men Disassembled Part 10. See you soon, and I love you all.